Hey everybody, welcome to So Many Sequels, your book club for movies. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
And we're trying to get home for Christmas. With JTT.
I'm desperately trying to get home for Christmas. I just want
trying to find it.
Christmas, and I want 2026.
Yes.
Keep pushing forward. That's
but
what
I'm
we're
not
trying to do.
Screwing around this time.
No.
I saw this really corny, stupid Instagram thing, and it was like an animated thing, and it said, "Dear 2025, I don't hate you, but I just," and I went full stop.
Yeah.
I do. Josh hates you.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan.
I hate you.
Not good.
That Instagram post didn't, but I did. Yeah, it's been rough. So we're ready to get through the end of the year here. We're almost to Christmas, which is exciting. We're trying to get to the good. We're talking about I'll Be Home for Christmas on the show today.
Mm-hmm.
When did this come out? I forgot to put that part in.
1998.
1998.
Why was I thinking 93?
Oh no, he would have been too. He would.
You
That's
would
like
have been a child.
that's
Yeah.
early
He would have
Home
been.
Improvement
He would have
thing, I
been
think.
voicing Simba at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be sure you subscribe. SoManySequels.com. Go do that. YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts at.
Mm-hmm.
You can get more from us there. But let's talk about this movie now. Estranged from his father, college student Jake is lured home to New York for Christmas with the promise of receiving a classic Porsche as a gift. The problem all 90s kids faced.
Of course.
When the bullying football team dumps him in the desert in a Santa suit, Jake is left without identification or money to help him make the journey. Meanwhile, his girlfriend, Allie, does not know where he is and accepts a cross-country ride from Jake's rival, Eddie, which also is just a thing that happens.
Played by Jessica Biel.
Why wouldn't your girlfriend just go along with your mortal enemy? Oh, man. This movie came out in 1998. I don't remember it being I don't know. I mean, David, you're about to hit us with the box office stats, but I don't remember this being like a big movie. If you told me it came out on DVD originally or VHS, I'd have believed you.
Interesting. Yeah, it was. Well, let's just get into
Yeah.
it. It opened the weekend of November 13th, 1998, to a very low $3.8 million in the number 6 spot for that weekend. Yes, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Can you believe it? A box office bomb. It was the number 1 movie that weekend was The Waterboy, which was in its second weekend. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer was at number 2 with 16.5. Meet Joe Black at number 3 with 15 million. The Siege at number 4 with 8. Ants was in its 7th week with $4 million.
Wow.
And then, I'll Be Home for Christmas here at 6. Also in theaters around that same time, Pleasantville. Just throwing that out there. So anyway, opening weekend, $3.8 million. Its entire U.S. run, it made $12.2 million, so not very good. On a budget, I believe, hang on, let me look up this budget again. I believe the budget's estimated to be around $30 million. So this was not a high budget, but it also was too high for this.
Did they film on location in every state?
I think so. I think
Nah,
that's what cost movies a lot of money back then, was just filming on
Maybe
location.
that is
in
back
places.
then. They just did it everywhere.
So the year-end finish for this movie, also not high. It was the number 117 movie of the year.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
This is amongst our lowest films we've ever done. Not our lowest ever, but amongst our lowest films we've ever done. So I'll Be Home for Christmas finished at $12.2 million, just behind Barney's Great Adventure.
Couldn't even take down Barney? Come on now.
Pathetic.
Number one
JTT
movie of
was
the
hot back then.
The number 1 movie in 98 was Saving Private Ryan, followed by this movie we've done before, Armageddon. There's Something About Mary, A Bug's Life, and the aforementioned The Waterboy at number 5. This is our 7th So Many Santas movie from 1990. We've done a couple of these now. You may remember some of our classics like Santa Claus, Home Alone, Jingle All the Way, Home Alone 2, The Muppet Christmas Carol, and Batman Returns. Those are our previous 90s Santa's films. And it is our 6th film from 1998. A good year, 1998 in general. I won't go into all those. But, so let's get into the meat of it now.
Yeah, I mean, you picked this movie, so tell us why.
Well-
What's it been sitting with you all these years for?
There's been this sentiment that we've all kind of expressed that it feels like we're running out of the good Christmas movies, and I wanted to show how right we were. No, I always kind of knew this wasn't like super popular. Like I knew that like it existed because I remember seeing like commercials for it or something when I was a kid. But I never saw it, never watched it. But I just knew it was out there. I knew that in my brain there was an image of Jonathan Taylor Thomas leaning against a cactus in a Santa suit. So I was like, when we hit the bottom of this barrel of Christmas films, we've always got I'll Be Home for Christmas. So that was kind of the idea. Was like, let's finally knock this one off the list.
Fair enough. Well, let's start talking about our experiences then. I feel like I remember watching this more in like my 20s for some reason.
Yeah.
Than when I was a kid. Like I remember it as a kid. I feel like somewhere in my 20s I went, "Oh, I remember this movie," and then I just watched it like 2 Christmases in a row. That's what I mean by watched it more, like twice.
Sure.
Gary, you watched this movie very much?
I did.
Nope.
I watched this as a kid, I think. Probably a big fan of Jonathan Taylor Thomas for Through Home Improvement. Probably big fan of Jessica Biel because she was a pretty girl and I was young enough to probably think she was a pretty girl. So, huge crush on her growing up. And, I remember liking it a lot when I was younger. And then I feel like I watched it not too long ago within the last few years and had a much different reaction to it. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, me too. I just flat out didn't enjoy it as much this time. I'm just gonna say it. JTT plays this character named Jake, who is obviously, well, I don't know, because he plays seemingly the cool kid, but he's also like just horrendously bullied throughout, which makes me think he's not the cool kid.
Yeah.
Well, he's the sly fox kind of
he's
character.
Definitely the sly fox.
He's smart enough to like outwit some people, but he's also small and frail and easily beaten once the big dummies catch up.
Yeah, he's like immediately shown to us as like this really pretty selfish guy. I mean, he wants to take his girlfriend, played by Jessica Biel, to Cabo San Lucas for Christmas, but without really asking her. And also he did this by returning the ticket his father bought him to go home for Christmas. But that's how this whole thing gets started. Is he wants to take her on a private island, or not private island, but on an island Christmas getaway. So anyway, he's kind of set up as kind of a jerk, everybody, even his girlfriend's like, being a little selfish here.
Yeah.
And I feel like that sat with me more this time.
Well, I think
how you feel about that?
Well, it all comes down to one little detail. You can find this on Wikipedia. But one little detail about this movie I think tells you everything you'll need to know when you're watching it. Is that this was originally written to be kind of a college teen comedy, kind of more adultish film with more mature themes. And Disney acquired it so that they could rewrite it to be a vehicle for Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who obviously in the 90s, Disney was high on JTT, right? They thought
everyone was, yeah.
This kid's got a future. So it's kind of like when you watch it, knowing that this movie at one point was probably something closer to like a Ryan Reynolds or a Dane Cook type movie, or a what's the name of that, National Lampoon type movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It kind of fits. Like, I don't think it was written by them, but it fits that vibe of like it was supposed to be like they're in college. He's trying to get home. He wants a Porsche. Like it's a very like character who's supposed to be kind of vapid but cool, having his sort of learning and growing. But then you kind of de-age it to like he's like in college, but he's only like 16. Like it feels like it's kind of in high school, but kind of in college.
Yeah.
So it's very odd, and it feels sanitized in a lot of places. It feels like there were clearly some stuff that was supposed to be a bit more extreme that got sort of toned down. But so that's kind of I think that once I read that detail that Disney like acquired this and rewrote it to fit for a younger thing, it was like, okay, that's why this feels strange. That's why parts of it feel kind of weirdly rushed.
Yeah.
Like it would have made sense for his character. I bet in a real version he doesn't get beat up by jocks. He probably just gets super drunk, and then like some people play a prank on him or something.
Yeah,
You know that.
Yeah, I could see how it actually might be better if it stayed like a true college movie and maybe had a little bit of if it had a little more, I don't know, college humor.
Yeah, if it had a little more edge
intended.
to it.
Yeah, maybe a little more edge. But anyway, where things really switch up then is that not to out selfish himself, but he decides, you know what, maybe I will go home for Christmas because his dad says, I'll give you the Porsche.
Yeah, his dad, played by Gary Cole,
Right.
is, I guess, they don't really say, I guess they say it's in like 3 years, but like his wife died. He married his new wife less than a year after, but they seem to be fairly like nice. They're not like mean parents or anything. She's trying really hard to be like a cool stepmom.
Yeah.
But he's like Jonathan's character Jake has avoided going back for Christmas for like 3 years.
Right.
So like I've actually felt bad for Gary Cole's character because he's like, yeah, but you know what? She's like, so wait, he sold your plane ticket and you're gonna give him the Porsche? And he's like, yeah, but you know what? He's coming home. He's excited. He wants to see his son. He's a very nice dad.
It does. I felt bad for him too because it's like, man, this kid just doesn't care about you guys right now in his life.
No. And his dad's desperate.
And his dad is desperate. And I'm also like, why do you want him home for Christmas? Like, he needs to grow up a little bit more. And this movie, you know, I think it helps him. This is where, you know, he gets stuck on his own cross-country trip away from his girlfriend because the bullies, like, strand him off in the desert. So then he has to do it all on his own. And he goes through his own, like, you know, I can't think of a comparison, but it feels like a typical type of story where like a selfish person goes through a bunch of obstacles, typically where they have to help someone else, which he does a few times, have to help other people along the way, and ultimately has to learn a lesson about family. Do you have a favorite side quest? What is your favorite Santa side quest?
Sort of as you were talking about it, the first one that comes to mind is, okay, so he runs into this guy who I guess has stolen a bunch of like electronics.
Yes.
This guy almost hits him on the road, and it's very like, so they get into trouble. They get pulled over by a cop, and they tell the cop that they're headed to like a children's hospital to give away toys, and they're thinking to themselves, well, okay, we're out of this. But the cop's like, hey, can I actually give you guys an escort there? And they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I like this moment is because there was, like, if this movie has any one good, like, tender moment, it's all these kids being given toasters and other electronics and back massagers and stuff. And then this little boy at the very end doesn't want his toy. He just wants to be back with his family, and he starts listing my grandma, Tia Sue, Tia Crystal. You know, he's, like, listing all his
aunts, yeah.
All his aunts and uncles. And the look on Jonathan's face, on the cop's face, on the crook's face, as they're all getting sad, they're all running to the phones to be like, "I'm sorry, I'm coming home for Christmas. I'll be there."
Cute.
So I was like, there's that moment. Actually, I thought, okay, this movie's not great, but it does have one moment that does weirdly hit home.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, in terms of some of these gags, I was like, we're just wasting time. I was like, you got to be home by 6, man.
See, my favorite of the Santa side quest was when he helps the cop make up with his wife, and he's writing the altered lyrics to A Christmas Tree, and I just love it when the cop goes off script, and is like, I'll make it up to you on the velvet Christmas tree skirt or something, and you see all the old ladies in the diner go like, ooh. Cracks me up.
Yeah. I'm singing to Marjorie.
He drove him 6 hours to do that.
I mean, he was finding a way across town. It is funny to try to imagine this movie, like the events or the premise, but you're starting in 2025 and how different life is now. Like, you'd have to get rid of his phone. You'd have to get rid of so many other things.
He has to hit payphones all along the way.
So, yeah, but he's payphoning it.
Gary, do you have a favorite? We were talking about a favorite Santa side quest in the movie. Mine was when he helps the cop sing to make up with his wife. David's was when he does the toy giveaway at the hospital with the kids.
And that little boy starts listing all of his family that he wants to see. Like, I almost cried.
Aww.
Good job, little boy.
I'm too cynical for that. I appreciated. It's not any of the quests because he's not redeemable.
No.
But I enjoyed his interaction with Nolan. Him and Nolan were quite funny as they were driving down the side of the road. I think that is kind of my favorite one as far as like consistently funny. Nolan's just a big idiot.
Yeah, I think that was the dynamic the movie needed. But he had a couple of different sidekicks along the way. Should we get into it at this point? Should we get into the character of Jake? You guys seem pretty adamant that he's not cool.
He's not.
He thinks he is.
He thinks he's tough.
He's the definition of what people thought cool people were in 1998.
Yeah.
He's charming. He's charismatic. He's smooth. He's suave. He's confident in all of the time, no matter what the situation is. He's got an out. But you know what else he is? A narcissistic, selfish, doesn't actually care about anyone.
He even has
his girlfriend and his family, and it is just, I mean, the way that they set him up, and this is a problem with a lot of these Christmas movies, is that he's just so unlikable that there's no way that he can come out and redeem
So I'm gonna disagree a little, not totally, but a little, because I think it's a different reason that I don't like this character. Okay, he is all those things. I think he has, obviously, he goes through a journey. He meets different people. He sees the value or whatever, and he changes by the end or whatever, right? But for me, this is an issue with Jonathan Taylor Thomas in late Home Improvement as well. Is he's a little whiny. Like he's just like he's very like when he's charming and he's making fun of people and he's joking and stuff. Like it's like you're like, okay, cool. I like this guy for the most part. But when he's like, what are you doing? Why are you here with him? Why are you this? You're just like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. You're so whiny. And like he would do these on Home Improvement too, where he'd get on like some soapbox and like complain to his dad. And I'm like, yeah, shut up, Randy. You sound like a whiny bag.
I mean, even the character, the Jake character is very privileged. Very. I mean, he's going to this amazing school across country. His dad's offering him a Porsche. Sounds like he was probably always going to give him the Porsche eventually. He built it with him together. Yeah. He's got a great girlfriend. He's got everything this kid would want.
He's very privileged. He's such a whiny little bitch. He is. That's what it comes down to. Is he's just and the reason that he's I'm lucky enough to not have had a parent pass away. I can't imagine that tragedy. He was young, and it seems like it was a young situation. I'm not trying to take away from those kinds of things, but I mean, you're being very uncompromising in a lot for someone who has a lot.
Yeah, and the movie I feel like is too rushed at times to really handle some of like where the beats really need to be for this growth. You know what I mean? Like I think you could start where he starts and you could end where he ends, and it could work. Like I think the structure of the film could build to that, but it feels so rushed at different times. It feels like it's like trying to race to the next gag before it has time to like let anything really settle. Also, the other plot of Jessica Biel riding with this other guy who's just a jerk in his own way.
Right.
Is also just like I don't want
either for the record.
I was just like I don't want to be with this guy. I don't want to be with this character. Why are we doing this?
Sexual assault. Like he's a predator. He is a predator. That's it.
Waiting to happen.
Like he nasty. He gross. Every time that he gets punched is.
Can I say though? I was shocked. Like Jessica Biel goes on this big spiel about like you say anything sexist, I'm gonna slug you. Say anything racist. She says, you say anything homophobic. And I was like, wow, homophobic in 98. I didn't know that was like a term they were kicking around. But
she's the only good person in this movie is Jessica Biel. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas's family. But like she got bad taste in dudes.
Yeah, it's not looking good for her. This is like Jessica Biel fresh off of Seventh Heaven and stuff too.
I was looking I was trying to find some of that info you were talking to us earlier, David, about the original story being different, and I came across Roger Ebert, who said this movie is Pleasantville made from antimatter. Gave it 1 star.
Dang.
And said people who seem to be removed from a 50s sitcom so they can spread cliches, ancient jokes, dumb plotting, and empty, cheerful, sanitized gimmicks into our world and time.
Sanitize is the word that I was using a lot because, Garrett, I don't know if you heard this, but this script was originally written for like a 20-something college age, like a teen comedy, like a National Lampoon type comedy. Disney acquired it and sort of had it rewritten to be a Jonathan Taylor Thomas vehicle. So that's why it feels off somewhere. Like it feels like it's supposed to be edgier than it is. And there's a few scenes that are kind of like borderline for Disney, but it's a little like it feels like if this had been edgier, maybe you could get away with some of it. But it's like Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Jessica Biel lying in their beds and they're like 16, 17 years old. It's like, this was so weird.
I feel like watching it this time, that's interesting. I didn't know that, but I feel like it gave me Van Wilder vibes with Ryan Reynolds, and I feel like that it could have been what this was meant for in something similar. They have very they're cool. They're the king of the castle, but they're not like jock cool. They're smart. They're suave. If they took half that time and put it to something good, it would be great. You know, the whole thing with the beeper is like that's such an excessive way to cheat.
It's too much.
You know, you put
it's
way
like
too written thought
it's
into
like
that. You could have just done it differently. You could have done something better with your time.
and like I said, I can imagine a version of the beginning of this story. I told this to Josh where like he's at that party and he just gets like way too drunk, and then the people that he's sort of irritated do this Santa prank. Like that just makes sense. But obviously, there's like no drinking in this one. They're just like they're at some kind of like vague party having fun. So anyhow, I think that like Ebert sums it up. It feels sanitized. It feels rushed, and it feels like I don't know. It feels very 90s. It's very 90s cringe. Like all the characters, it's like overwritten with the dialogue where the characters are talking in very like hip, pop terms. I feel like there was a point in the 90s where people got really fixated on like chromosomes and DNA and stuff because they're like, you don't have. I can't remember what the line was, but there's some line in this movie where Jessica Biel was like, I dislike you down to your chromosomes or something like that, and I was like, okay, that's just so freaking. This is so 90s cringe.
Very.
People are still talking about chromosomes like they matter.
They are, but this was where the bubble started to form on people knowing way too much about DNA and things like that, and they were like, they would make joke about it. There'd be like commentary on like evolution or something, or I don't know. People started figuring out things like, various philosophy terms. It just seems like it all came out of nowhere all at once. But
I want to ask the final big question. Is it a Christmas movie? I think there's an argument.
It is a Christmas movie because it is, based on various things we've talked about over time. It is supposed to be this sort of like journey from selfishness to an element of selflessness, right? It's supposed to be that a little bit. Obviously, there's the Santa imagery all over the movie. Jonathan's dressed as Santa the whole film. There's supposed to be a little bit of, in a lot of films, he's not like full on Scrooge, but there's a little bit of that, personal journey to reach a new place. And that's very common with Christmas films. It's loaded with Christmas music everywhere. Like there's like every scene of this film switches to a new song.
I just wonder how much of it is facade.
It's a banger soundtrack, I will say.
Yeah, the non-Christmas songs, yeah.
No, I mean all of the songs,
too.
the Christmas songs. It opened up with that like jazzy, cool Yule or whatever. I had never heard that before. I was like, "Ooh, this is nice."
Yeah, and then it finishes with NSYNC's "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays." Merry Christmas.
Great one.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it is like obviously you could make a pitch that this could work in another at another holiday at another point in time.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, but he's wearing a Santa suit.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is I guess I feel like it just didn't feel. I think because I just think he's so irredeemable. It didn't feel Christmassy enough.
Well, and it's obviously like he's moving from California. It's getting colder as he goes. But I mean, the whole, like I said, the scene with him giving the gifts to the kids, the scene with them at the him trying to the old Christmas tree remix that they do for Marjorie, you know, and even even the Santa Claus, race.
None of that is sincere.
I guess that's my issue. It all feels like facade.
Yeah, it's all just him manipulating people to get what he wants.
Yeah,
No,
I think it's poor
really.
writing. Oh,
Yes, it is.
every time he helped someone, it was to get himself closer to the Porsche.
Well, that's what movies are. It's people are doing stuff to get what they want. But like,
I feel like
all
you would
of these
argue with the
scenes-
version of you that recorded the "What Is a Christmas Movie" episode.
no. This is right
I
down
feel
the
like
line.
that
okay?
version of you would go, "He's a
No,
jerk."
nobody
and this
gets
isn't a
murdered
Christmas
in this
movie."
movie. There is
Someone
borderline
should've.
nudity, so maybe there's pretty. It's not full frontal, but there's suggested nudity. So I mean, we almost had a Yule log in this movie, so that was close.
This
But-
movie is a Yule log.
It gets close, but no, I mean the heart of it comes around to Christmas.
I guess just weekly. Let's get into our final rating. What do we think? It's a 2 for me.
Yeah, no, this is about as 2 as it gets. You know, it's watchable.
Yeah.
Like if you were a kid and you really liked this, I get it. You could watch. You could make this like this is a tradition. We love watching JTT.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would, but
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 just because like I have a little nostalgia for it, but like it's just fun. I can't quite bring it to say it's like not good. There are parts where I laugh and am somewhat entertained, so like it's fine.
Okay, good. I've got some Letterboxd reviews here pulled up. Let's get into our Letterboxd game. I know we're, playing for fun now because the champion has been crowned, but
yes,
still got to go through and see what other folks think of this movie. I've got some reviews pulled up here. 1 star. I'll be home for Christmas just in time to kick Jonathan Taylor Thomas's ass.
Yeah.
2 stars. I hate when college bullies stuff. I hate when college bullies stuff me into my college locker. Good point.
Feels
that
very
was
high
weird.
school.
I really could not figure out if this was supposed to be college or like a preparatory high school across the country. I could not figure it out.
4 stars. I'll fight anyone who says this isn't a classic. 5 stars. Jessica Biel has a Smash Mouth poster in her room.
Yeah,
She did.
I remember.
And Lisa Leslie posters everywhere too.
Obviously very bad, but I've seen it 3 times, so at a certain point that's on me. And then finally, 3 stars. Do you guys think that one guy is still in the locker?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the last place we saw him. So he died there.
Thoughts?
2.4.
Well,
I'm just gonna throw it out there. It don't matter anyway.
2.4. I'll Garrett, Josh, do you want to go next?
2.6.
I guess 2.8.
Dun, 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 dun. There's a direct hit among us. And it's David. This is a 2.8.
Nice. Why not?
Hey, 2.8. That's a week too late.
I know, right?
For those who maybe lost right now, Garrett won in our potentially lost episode, our Scrooged episode.
I know, what a bummer.
There's always the chance we could do that again next year.
That's true.
But Garrett basically pulled out to like an unreachable place. So Josh and we are competing for fun at this point. Garrett has 24. He is the winner. Even with a direct hit next week for our final movie of the year. Can't reach him. Josh, you're at 14. I'm at 20.
Dang.
Could be Josh's year next year, you know?
You never know. That'd be great in many ways. Your voice, your mouth to God's ears, and whoever's listening.
Let's manifest it.
Manifest that
2026,
destiny.
the year of Josh.
The summer of George. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. We do have one more week of Christmas coming at you, or one more Christmas movie to talk about with you guys coming up. So stay tuned for that. Go to somanysequels.com. You can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. we'll be talking about Miracle on 34th Street, the original, the 40s version. So if you haven't watched that recently, go watch it so you can talk with us about it on our next book club meeting. Maybe we should work that into the new outros. Our next meeting. We could
The next meeting of the So Many Sequels Thursday Club.
See, this is what we'll be talking about when we'll start planning. All right, we will see you guys later when we go do that. Bye.